What's interesting is I think I'm like most of the people in here. My dad got me interested in fishing, and we lived in the Midwest. We lived in Chicago, and in 1991 I moved out of Chicago and high-fived my mom and dad and went fishing. I went to college a little bit, I went fishing a lot. Favorite body of water right now is I'm partial to Lake Ontario. It's big, it's nasty, but it's probably the most versatile fishery in the country. Oh, you know what's weird is I've been, from doing Zona show for 15 years, a lot of people think of me as a smallmouth fisherman, but I'm a largemouth dock fisherman, slop, punching, frogging, and that's really how I grew up. Now, as time went on, I chase smallmouth, but I'm a shallow banger. I really think the most difficult part for me is there's this guy from Kalamazoo, Michigan, Kevin Van Dam, that totally understands Tennessee River reservoirs with current and offshore and shell bars. Look, the rest of the state of Michigan doesn't understand it that well. The Tennessee River has been my nemesis. If there was a piece of fishing equipment that has not been invented yet, I would love to know when I let a fish go, where does he go? Does he feel like he just got dropped back in the water by an alien? Because that's really what it's like. Imagine if that cameraman was sucked out of ICAST right now for a minute, a picture was taken of him and he was dropped back down. I would like to know where they go and kind of what they're thinking, what just happened. What do I think the industry needs to do? They need to adjust prices. They need to adjust prices. And I don't want this to sound like a sales pitch. I just did a speech for a lot of media. That's one thing that Daiwa worked on this year, and I'm not throwing that out. Adjusting prices to get kids involved, where they can actually, now here's a concept, have quality that they can afford, because that's been grossly lost the last 10 years, and I mean that. Do I have any rituals? You know, one of the most bizarre things is I fish with my boys now. I fish with my twin 19-year-old kids, and you grow up as their teacher, like my dad and your dad at home. They were your teacher, and I have a tendency to always jump in the front of the boat. The ritual in my life now is to slow down, let them be the captain, and I'll be the first mate. That's the biggest, it's a ritual I'm training myself on. The best fishing advice I ever received is tow, time on water. What's interesting is we live in a day and age of tournament jerseys and patches and fireworks, and that's not the world I live in. Even though I cover the Bassmaster Elite Series, the most important advice I could pass on to whether you're 50 years old, 30 years old, 10 years old, time on the water and experience can never be replaced. Body of water I've never been on, how do I approach it? This is no joke. One of the biggest flaws in a bass fisherman is to go to a new body of water and say, hey, there's a bass boat over there, or there's a bass boat over there. Don't do that. More than likely, they're doing the same to you. The main thing that I do when I go to a new body of water, I look for pan fishermen. If you're from the Midwest, our bass eat panfish. I hate to say it, there's a lot of bluegill fishermen out there that do not like me because I like to get really close to them. Favorite fishing joke? In all honesty, Seth Feider's hair. Does it even need a punchline? I mean, look at that. That kid is a majestic steed. And you know what? I'm the one that cut it.